4 races remain in the NTT IndyCar Series, and 4 drivers are engaged in a fierce fight to be number 1 in this championship. But only one of that top quartet has never actually been the champion. That's Alexander Rossi. The Andretti Autosport driver has his future set after recently re-signing with the team. Comes to Pocono, the defending race winner. So is today the day he makes his move to be the series top driver. Points leader Joseph Newgarden, Indy 500 winner Simon Pagenaud, and reigning series champion Scott Dixon will all be doing their very best to prevent that from happening right here at Pocono Raceway today, over 500 flat-out miles. It's the ABC Supply 500. Yes, 200 laps, 500 miles, and only 4 races remain in this 2019 season, and the top 4 in the championship are in the top 4 positions. To the left of your screen in the orange car, Scott Dixon with a good start. The yellow car is Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 champion. He's going for the inside on his teammate, and the Indy champ will take the lead into 1.
Charlie Kimball jumped onto the warm-up lane down there, and he passed about 8 cars down into the first corner. But Simon Pagenaud shows his speed right away.
But Alexander Rossi pretty well smoked on the front straightaway. Now Ryan Hunter-Reay is to the inside. Huge crash. Hunter-Reay, Sato. Oh no, and Rossi is in it.
A lot of cars.
Up in the fence is Rosenqvist.
This is disastrous for Rossi in the championship. His teammate was involved like he was last year
Sato.
In turn 2. Sato's involved.
Upside
down. Sato's car
on fire too.
So Ryan Hunter-Reay for the 2nd year is involved in a really scary crash. Takuma Sato is upside down and that car is on fire. This is Felix Rosenqvist. His race is done.
Rosenqvist was up on top of the guardrail. All attention right now going to Sato's car. He got tangled with Hunter-Reay.
Hunter-Reay's out. He's okay. He's going to run over and see if he can help. They need to try to get Sato's car. Usually what they'll do is tilt it up on its side. It looks like the rear's propped up on Hunter-Reay's car, so there should be a pretty big space to tend to him. There's Hinchcliffe. He's getting out.
2nd year in a row for James. He was also involved in that accident last year between Robert Wickens and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Looks like Rossi's out of his car already. Huge championship implications for him.
There's Sato.
Sato's out. Great news.
With a special 10th anniversary helmet reflecting all of the teams he's driven for in IndyCar. He did not expect to scrape that helmet being upside down here at Pocono Raceway today. There's Alexander Rossi. He can't believe it.
That's the 2nd year in a row that Hunter-Reay and Hinch, I think, was caught up in the accident last year. They're both out in a turn 2 accident, and it's really narrow down there. They rocket down the back straightaway, fan out, and the groove is so tight, everybody's trying to jockey for position, and they just got collected. Rosenqvist still sitting, and nobody's
no safety over there. And he was up on top of the wall, grinding on top of the wall there for a little bit, so he is not really moving around. So they got to get a safety team over there ASAP.
His visor's up. He is moving in the cockpit. Here they come.
AMR safety team. Getting there as quickly as they can. They just got stretched because there were so many cars in so many different locations.
And I'm guessing that they would have had some radio communication, because I think they would have hustled much quicker there had they thought that Rosenqvist was in immediate need. They went to Sato, which was the right thing to do.
He looks like he's ready to get out now. He said code 1. It looked like they raised 1 finger. Front of the car pretty tore up. It looks like it got up on, like I said, got up on top of the wall. We got a lot of angles to show you guys. Just guys getting real racy at the start of the event again. And
so watch Hunter-Reay in the yellow
out.
car. Hunter-Reay's going to make a move on Rossi, go to the inside. Sato goes to the outside. They're now 3 wide.
They just squeezed him. Sato just came
down
over
on Rossi.
Yeah, he just came down on top of Rossi and then swept everybody out. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
look at that,
man.
up in the fence. So very hard hit for Rosenqvist. Very, very lucky.
I'm so glad that Rosenqvist stayed out of the fence in terms of the whole car getting up there.
Oh, yeah.
So here we get a good head-on shot. I'm not sure what Sato thought. He was clear maybe and tried to get a draft off Dixon.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing in that situation. He just kind of turned down across those guys, and there was a car in the middle. Rossi was in the sandwich.
Well, we have an onboard
in the middle of it, so we'll get an onboard with Rossi. Look at this. Already banging wheels already. So close, but here, watch Sato, and then he just turns on him.
Oh, and Hunter Ray was kind of tight
Rossi
down below.
No steering for Rossi now.
I think everybody was trying to go after the single car toe, the draft from Scott Dixon. You had 3 wide and 1 in front. Hunter Ray on board.
Passing his teammate here, so he's on the inside clear of him. Then watch Sato he tries to shoot that gap, and it was not there.
Not
so
on at all.
2 Penske teammates at the front. Simon Pagenaud and championship leader Joseph Newgarden. They just so happen to be the top 2 in the championship. Look at Scott Dixon in third. The orange and blue car right around the outside of Joseph Newgarden. Now it's a drag down the front straight here at Pocono.
Perfect jump from Dixon as he's side by side with Newgarden. Now he's clear. Dixon slots in behind Pagenaud. Further back, they start to fan out as Ferrucci is dealing with Graham Rahal, who gets around to the outside.
Graham Rahal sweeps around the outside. Ferrucci files in. Bourdais right on his teammate's gearbox.
Look at Colton Herta, this white car here, tucking in behind the gold and black Arrow Honda of Marcus Ericsson. Herta got a nice restart.
Sigh of relief as they get through turn 2 on the restart, but Will Power is challenging in the silver car to the outside of Tony Kanaan, and Charlie Kimball goes to the inside. Kanaan loses 2 spots in 1 corner, and now Marco Andretti coming up on Tony Kanaan. So Kanaan really, that's very uncharacteristic for Kanaan to get shuffled back on a restart. He's normally going forward in a bold way.
I'll tell you what, these guys are pulling away big time now from Newgarden. Newgarden now 2.4 back. And he's just not been able to hang on to these 2 at the front. And the pace really isn't all that quick. They're running 209s, 210s.
And Scott Dixon talked about how these long Pocono straightaways give you so much time, too much time to think about things because you're on the straight longer here than anywhere else. And I'll bet Dixon's looking in his mirrors hoping that Graham Rahal and Ferrucci and Bourdais start to chew into Newgarden's gap, because right now Dixon's 57 points out of the championship lead on Newgarden. So he needs help from his friends to put some heat on Newgarden to give him more of a championship gain.
Look right here. Is that Newgarden maybe going to sweep around the outside?
It's Ferrucci.
Wow.
Ferrucci.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Inside Scott Dixon down the back straight.
Terrific.
This kid loves ovals.
We've seen this in the past where pitting early on the sequence is an advantage to get out on those fresh tires when guys are still circulating on the old tires. Ferrucci will be behind Pagenaud and effectively second in the race once the cycles are done. Here's Newgarden.
Front wing adjustment for Joseph Newgarden. Started on the pole, really quick stop. Back out. The leader, Simon Pagenaud, is long gone. We'll see if Newgarden, where he comes out in relation to Scott Dixon. Dixon will be racing him as he comes through turn 1.
He's going to come out, and these guys are going to sweep around the outside. Maybe Sebastian Bourdais might get him on the exit right here as Graham Rahal goes around the outside, and here comes Bourdais down the back straightaway in the draft. Lost a lot of positions on that yellow.
Spencer Piggott. Spencer Piggott in the Ed Carpenter Racing Auto Geek car. And
look on that bump I was complaining about all day.
Did he make it in the pit lane on time for that yellow? He's way down at the end, so I would assume he did. That's a real good stroke of luck right there. Yeah, he's into the wall way early, so hopefully if we get another angle of this, but he's way early, so I think he might have missed the line, Townsend, and just been up in the gray area in the marbles. And I mean, IndyCar's heritage is in the Northeast. They've raced at Trenton, Nazareth, Pocono, Watkins Glen, Loudon. These are the places where IndyCar's known to be from.
Green, green, green is the call. Let's go back racing. And Simon Pagenaud, the Indy 500 champion, leads this race and leads it well. But look who's doing the chasing. His teammate Will Power, a two-time winner here, has come from the back of this field, right around on the high side. Doesn't quite get to the front yet. Will!
Super aggressive moves by Will Power, racing his teammate, who's now squarely in the championship hunt. He backs off there.
Whoa, Pagenaud's car looks so fast on the straights. If you think about the jump he had on the start on Newgarden, now Pagenaud's checking out and going to try to reclaim the gap that he established in the first stint. Further back, Marcus Ericsson went way big on the outside going into turn one. They were 4 wide.
Another good run by Power coming off onto the front straightaways in the draft again. Will he make the move? Will he force him to the outside? Inside he goes as he makes the move. So this is the first time Pagenaud has lost the lead today.
The other story to follow here is Joseph Newgarden, who slipped back to 7th place with Scott Dixon running in the top 3. So that's another strategy that Roger Penske will probably contemplate as these laps unfold, is trying to make sure that his team takes care of this guy, Newgarden, who right now would lead bigger, have a bigger lead coming out of the championship. Here comes Pagenaud.
He got a good run off a 3. His car is really good. He's staying closer to the back of the cars than anybody so far, so he definitely wants to lead, just like Indianapolis. He likes it out front.
Here comes Will Power, Dixon to pit lane, but Power has a run.
Will Power timed that to perfection with the lapped car. Hinchcliffe is many, many laps down, nearly 50 laps down. Will Power slides it in to turn 1. Here comes Dixon on pit lane.
And all that he said, or all that Scott said, was that the car was pretty good, so no changes expected here for Dixon as he peels off from 3rd, 4 tires and fuel. Graham Rahal in behind him as well, a little bit further down pit road, struggling to keep that race car up inside the top 10 here as he was fading late. 4 tires and fuel for him as well.
And that little checkup between Power and Pagenaud, and now they're in traffic with Marco Andretti. When this cycle happens, Dixon could absolutely be in the lead. Dixon's gone. Dixon's in the lead, and so is Ferrucci.
The undercut, the traffic, these two guys in the Hondas have just shot by the Chevys with the undercut and the little bit of traffic that held those guys up.
So Will Power is still out, yet to see him pit. But remember, he pitted several laps different to his teammate Simon Pagenaud, etc.
Here's the replay. This is what lost Simon Pagenaud the lead of the race. James Hinchcliffe very slow. Power gets a run. Pagenaud had to check up in turn 3 as Scott Dixon came to pit lane, and that probably shaved a second or 2 off that lap for Pagenaud, which is a massive drop on a super speedway. There's Hinchcliffe trying to stay out of the way, but I think he ended up just slowing up Pagenaud more than he intended.
Nothing Hitch could do. He's doing everything he can do, but this is heads-up driving by Marco Andretti, letting Pagenaud know, hey, I got to get over. Pagenaud smartly backs out, but that also cost him more time as well.
I'm wondering if that was a masterful call on the fly by Mike Hull and Chris Simmons to bring Scott Dixon in there. Oh, big crash. Is that Colton Herta? It is.
And I don't think Power's come to the pits yet. That's really going to hurt him.
What has happened to Colton Herta?
Had a good run going, and just glad you're okay.
Looks like he might have.
He lost it in traffic.
Yeah, it got loose, clipped the outside, but I think he might have got in the gap in the wall, which is not a good situation.
He was following Joseph Newgarden.
There's the first hit. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, right into that gap, look.
Ready to come to green, and this could be a 20-lap shootout to get to lap 101 and beat the rain. Green flag flies. Let's go here in Pocono.
Dixon gets the jump, but Pagenaud with another great run, making a move on Ferrucci on the outside. Look at Will Power diving to the inside.
Will Power wants to get back. He's behind his teammate, but not right there in the corner. Not a great restart by Ferrucci, but look at Dixon up high a little bit.
Look at Ed Carpenter. Ed Carpenter right around the outside. He's put himself into the top 5. The red car.
3 wide at the back there.
Ed makes a move on Joseph Newgarden. That's for 4th place. Ed Carpenter on a charge.
Power going by his teammate. That's not going to help the point situation. At some point, he's going to need to play the teammate to Newgarden. He's the championship leader.
That move, I was watching our live points timing. That took 2 points off Newgarden's lead. Power passing Newgarden for 5th place.
Back at Pocono and a new race leader. Will Power, a 2-time winner here. And as we went to the break, you saw him heading to pit lane. Made that stop, pitted some 5 laps after Scott Dixon, and takes control of this race.
He came out on fresh tires, tracked down Dixon, turned the fastest lap of the race in the process, and just had a brilliant run out of turn 3. Just got inside for turn 1 to make the move.
He's the first guy to make the overcut work. He ran about 3 laps longer than everybody. Jumped a couple guys on the pit stop, got out behind Dixon, and cranked it up on fresh tires. And now has taken the lead and taken off.
By the way, that fastest lap was 215 miles an hour. Speedway lap leaders. Pagano owns 64 laps, Dixon 32, and Will Power some 18, but now that's going to grow as well. So Will Power, Scott Dixon, Simon Pagano, Santino Ferrucci, the rookie, and Joseph Newgarden, championship leader, in the top 5 under caution here at Pocono. And we've just received word, that's why I was pausing, just received word it's not actually for rainfall on the track, it's lightning within that 7-mile radius.
And it's going to be rainfall shortly thereafter. As you can see, the darkness looming coming out of the west. But Paul, you called it. Lightning generally precedes.
And listen,
the moisture.
There's another aspect to this too, is that the medical chopper needs to leave in case of an emergency. And that is the reason right now.
We cannot underscore that this track has lost a fan to lightning in the past during a NASCAR event, so they have to stop this race if there is lightning in the area.
128 laps have been completed with Will Power on top, Scott Dixon second, Simon Pagano third, Santino Ferrucci fourth, and Joseph Newgarden, championship leader, fifth. And if the race is to finish at this point, that won't leave Joseph Newgarden too displeased, because he has more than doubled his championship advantage with where he is in fifth and where Alexander Rossi is right at the tail end of this field.
13 straight wins now. Will Power has won an IndyCar race. You saw while Robin was talking to Joe Fish just a moment ago when he was told by Joe Hodge from IndyCar, you got the Firestone hat. It's official. Your rain dance worked, even though it hasn't started raining, but it is coming.
It looks really bad, actually, and I thought if this cloud cover comes over and it doesn't rain us, it's just not my year. But over the moon, man. I had a few issues during the race, but we just kept coming back. So full credit to the team. Great car. I kind of just hung there, saved fuel. When it was time to go, I went, and yeah, I was so determined. I really wanted to win, man. Like it would be my 13th year in a row winning races, so I actually had been thinking about that. But I simply just wanted to win a race for the team and for Verizon. You know, these guys have worked their ass off all year, and you know, just haven't had the results.